You're fired.
All right, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Let's Get Fired. I'm your host, Drew Simon. Big changes to the podcast. Big change. If you can't tell, everything looks nicer. But also, I got a co-host. With me, I got Clayton Palmquist.
Fuck yeah.
And today, for our first episode with a co-host, we got our first guest ever back on, Tanner Rahlf.
First time on camera, baby.
From Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, yeah.
How does it feel to be back in the Holy Land?
Good. It actually feels, I missed here a lot. Not to diss in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's great. There's, and like, I thought I'd be dissing on all the comics when I went down there. No, it's a really good scene. Like, I'm not going to say I suck. Like, I feel pretty good where I am there. Uh-huh. But there's a lot of great comics down there, too, and it's actually a pretty fun scene. Just different from here, but I definitely miss Utah a lot.
No, I understand that. I think Spokane to Utah was also very different.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that Oklahoma City has more in common with Spokane than Utah.
I would absolutely agree to that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the main club there, it's owned by the same people who own the Spokane club, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the comedy club, Bricktown, and Spokane, Tacoma. It's got all the same logos and stuff, yeah.
Right.
And when you go to sign up for the open mic, you can just choose from a list of which city you're in. So.
Yeah, it's a fun club.
Yeah,
I haven't done Bricktown, but I've seen pictures, and it looks identical to the Spokane Comedy Club.
I haven't been to Spokane, but you've shown me pictures, and same thing. It looks a lot
so
like
I know what
Laughs Unlimited
would be like
in Sacramento too, because I feel like there's like 3 comedy clubs.
Yeah,
like designs, and then they all just kind of mimic each other.
Yeah. Well, so to get started here, you were our first guest.
Yes.
Well, my first guest. I guess there wasn't a we yet. And nobody remembers. Because I think we had like 70 people listen to it. Which,
that's
for a first episode ever, not bad.
Not bad.
I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
But where you're going to proceed as if you have never been on this podcast before.
So first time.
I am going to bet most of the people who are listening have not listened to that episode.
Okay.
I would say the biggest spike came is when Colin was on last time.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
We were talking about this just before we started. Colin's
that got almost 700 downloads.
Yeah.
But then the last episode I did with Garrett, that had almost 500. So
all right.
I'm able to maintain.
So it went 700 to 500?
Yeah.
So the 300 people listening to this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you listening, and make sure to follow me after the podcast at Rahlf.
There we go.
Just get the plugs out of the way now.
So let's just jump into the meat of it. Okay. So what was your first job ever?
My first job ever? Does like mowing lawns count?
No, like first job, like you were on a payroll.
I was a lifeguard when I was 15 at just a summer pool.
Dude, if I saw a lifeguard now that looked like you, I'd be like, I'm not fucking swimming here.
Dude, whatever. I'm fucking buoyant as hell, man.
Yeah, dude. But if there's a kid at the bottom of that pool, you're not getting him. You're gonna have to fight extra hard to get to the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got the reverse problem of Seagate, where like I've got too much buoyancy, and the deeper I go, the more I'm just trying to go back to the top.
Yeah,
no, I was actually a pretty good swimmer when I was younger.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I think we all were.
I was on the swim team, and like I was on the diving team. And like the lifeguard training, like you had to go get a 10-pound brick from the bottom of the pool, which is super heavy when you're trying to swim, the 12-foot deep end. So like I was pretty fit when I was 15. Probably could kick my own ass now. Like my 15-year-old self could kick my 34-year-old self's ass.
Dude, I think that's true for me too. It's a fucking bummer.
Yeah,
that's not true for me. 15-year-old Drew is a pussy. I could beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah,
he only weighed 135 pounds.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I've got weight on myself for sure, but I've also got depression and lack of motivation on myself now too. So.
Damn, dude, you're bumming me out.
I was just a lot more bright-eyed when I was younger because I hadn't experienced anything.
Yeah,
yet.
dude. I feel like if you're a lifeguard now,
Oh, gosh.
now, you'd be like that submarine. Like you
Yeah.
just implode when you get to the bottom of it.
People would be like, "We don't know where he went," and then a week later, they're like, "We knew immediately." No, I remember because I was a lifeguard all through high school, and even like my freshman year of college. But even like by my freshman year of college, when I was like 18, 19, there were some older guys who were still lifeguards there, and like you're like, ugh, this is weird. Like even I feel too old to be here, and then there's some guy who's like 25, which when you're 18, you might as well be like 96, you know?
Yeah.
It just felt weird, and so yeah, I never went back to lifeguarding after
that's
that.
a job where you definitely age out.
You 100%, yeah. I sang the song "You're 16, You're Beautiful in Your Mind" when I was 16, and then when I turned 17, I never sang that song again. I was a lifeguard till I was 19, and then when I turned 20, never lifeguarded again.
How old was the guy who wrote that song?
You mean George Harrison of the Beatles? He was in his 30s.
Dude. But the 70s was a good time.
70s
Yeah.
was a different time, guys. Different time.
Better.
So,
Yeah. Oh, is it George or Ringo? It was George. Pretty sure George wrote it.
okay.
Yes. Dude, there was so many openly pedophilic songs back then.
Isn't there a song that just starts with like "She was just 16"? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's like 15 of those.
Dude, there was clips. I saw a YouTube clip of a guest on Howard Stern's show in 2003.
Oh, yeah.
So not that long ago. And he was like, yeah, but like, I mean, like a 13, 14-year-old party girl, she can consent.
Yeah. Fucking. I watched Old School for the first time, and he hooks up with a 17-year-old in that movie, and she's like, "But she said she was 18. You better pretend you're 18 for the rest of this movie." And I was like, sheesh. This movie came out in what, 2001, 2002?
Oh man.
It's early 2000s. So yeah, we say 70s, but it's a much more recent problem than that for sure.
Yeah, dude, now we fucking hate pedophiles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sound of freedom.
Now the second we find out, hell yeah, man. We hate pedophiles so much we don't address them here. We go to different countries and fight theirs because we don't want to.
Yeah, dude, we got to get the icky brown ones first.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You got to build up to, like, dude, the white pedophiles, that's like the final boss of the
Yeah.
video game. It's like Epstein's Island.
Yeah, they got their own mansions and stuff. It's like a whole castle you have to go through.
Yeah, dude. They should do a Mario where you're just fighting pedophiles.
I'd play that game, man. That'd be way fun.
Well, cool.
If you, instead of a star, you get this little thing that turns you to look like a 16-year-old girl. So it brings all the pedophiles in, then you use your hammer to beat the shit out of them and stuff. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. So what's the worst job you've ever had?
Call center.
Call center?
Yeah, I worked at a call center for like 3 to 6 months, something like that, before I wanted to blow my brains out, and I was like, I'm done with this.
Dude, call centers are soul-sucking.
It's legitimately the only job where I've wanted to kill myself. Like, legitimately, the last day I worked, I was like, I would rather die than do another day of this. And I told my boss that, and I was like, so I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. My boss was like, you don't need to do 2 weeks. You can just leave now. And I was like, oh, that's how pointless I am to you guys.
Yeah, that seems like a job where you can just kind of just go away.
Yeah.
No one's going to notice.
Yeah. My boss was a nice guy. It's just a soul-sucking job.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Right. Okay, my turn. Have you stolen anything from any job you had?
Not that I can think of. When I was a lifeguard, I definitely took advantage of the like free snacks and soda for lifeguards more than I probably should have.
Like how much more?
So every
I mean, look at him.
I was $1.20 when I started. No, so every rotation, so every 45 minutes, you would be in the 2 chairs that were at the pool, and then you would go back into the concession stand and run the concession stand for 15 minutes. You would do that. every 45 minutes, I would refill my glass with Dr. Pepper, and then I would pour a shit ton of snow cone syrup into it.
Oh my God,
of the
dude.
cherry, dude. I was swinging it out.
Dude, you were in Utah before Utah.
Yeah, way before. Dude, I legitimately wanted to start a restaurant called the Mormon Bartender. That was essentially what Swig is now.
Swig is a
I
lot
thought of this.
catchier.
Yeah, it is a lot catchier. But yeah, that I would do that every rotation. Like that snow cone syrup gets pretty expensive pretty quick. Soda's kind of cheap, and then I would always get candy out of the freezer and like ice cream sandwiches and stuff. Now, like we were allowed, there wasn't a limit, but if there was, I was definitely eating well beyond it. So technically, I never stole, but I definitely took advantage.
Okay. Have you ever had sex with anyone at work?
Despite like everyone else who's on this show, no.
Have you ever had sex with anyone from work, but not at work? Have you ever hooked up with a coworker?
Not sex. I made out with a few people that I worked at EFY with.
Ooh.
Yeah.
EFY.
That's
especially for youth. It's a Mormon youth camp.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He was a counselor.
Yeah,
at the
I was a
Mormon
camp
youth camp.
counselor. I was like, hey guys, let's all believe in Jesus.
Dude, so are all the counselors just making out with each other?
Turns out all the counselors are gay, which is the funniest thing to me. That like, of all, like it's a Mormon youth camp. We're all telling kids not to be gay and stuff, and then I would say
I never heard that one time at EFY.
I
I never heard "don't be gay."
Oh, okay.
But the whole time I was like, I think this guy's gay.
So yeah, like so many of all the jobs I've worked, EFY is definitely the highest concentration of like coworkers ended up being gay. They were closeted gay, and then like after we were done working EFY, they're like, "So I'm gay," and a few of them married each other, which is fucking
Whoa.
awesome. So I hope they are hooking up with
That
each other
is-
behind the scenes.
That is the right place for gay Mormons
Oh, man.
because like you got to be like peppy.
Yeah, yeah, straight up, straight up. So I hope they're hooking up with each other. No, I never had sex with anyone I worked with. But yeah, I did make out with a few AFY counselors that I worked with.
Wait, but you said everyone was gay. So
How many
what was
dudes
his
did
name?
Shout out to it. No, not everyone was gay, but it was, like I said, the highest concentration of gay people I worked with.
This is funny, but
Yeah.
how many of them are married now?
Of the people that I hooked up with,
Yeah, all the EFY counselors you made out with.
I don't know. I'd love to answer. I just
You have no
legitimately-
idea.
Yeah, I don't know. At least one or two are married, but and one isn't. But I don't know.
So, who is the most annoying person you've ever worked with?
That definitely goes back to EFY as well. For the reason you just said, it's very peppy. It's very charismatic. It's everyone who works at, well, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people love to work EFY because they're entertainers and they love being the center of attention. And when
Yeah,
you're
lots of theater kids.
Yes,
Dude, I
yes.
could, because I only went to EFY once and I was
Yeah.
17, and I remember just the vibe of the counselors. I didn't like theater kids,
Yeah.
so I just,
So imagine like the worst theater kid you've ever met. That's what EFY counselors were like.
how many years did you do that?
5. I worked EFY for 5 summers.
That's wild.
Almost
Until you aged out.
Yeah. I did try to apply. I was kind of, my last year, I wasn't on a specific team of counselors, and so they kind of threw me around different teams the whole summer, and I was kind of bitchy about it, and I kind of let the office know, like, they asked me to do some things that were more than was on a normal requirements, and so I was like, well, if you're going to make me do 2 jobs, you're going to pay me more, right? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, then I'm not doing 2 jobs here. And so they got a little upset about that. And so the next year when I tried to apply again, I think that kind of ruined my reputation with the office staff. But I did try to work a 6th year. I did age out, and then they removed the age restrictions, and I tried to work a 6th year.
Dude, so you loved it.
Yeah, it was the best headache I ever had. Like, Yeah, I'm out of the church now. I don't believe in the church at all. I still loved my entire time at EFY. It was way fun.
Dude, I don't think I ever could have,
Yeah.
at any point in my life, ever worked EFY.
No, of course you couldn't. You're too.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. Nothing fun is great. Nah. I'm a
Spot on, man.
Seahawks fan.
Yeah,
It's
no,
'cause
that's fair. That's fair.
You can't let your guard down. That's why.
Dude.
Like EFY, especially working EFY, you have to be willing to look stupid. And I don't think you ever are. And I don't mean that as a diss. I think that's just part of your personality. Is you can't let yourself look stupid in front of people.
Dude, I feel like I'm going to therapy right now. This is wild. I've never heard this said about me.
Which is fun because we are comedians, and as our job, we are making asses of ourselves in ways. But yeah, that's part of EFY. Is like it was just you have to.
It's very silly. That's
Yes.
the word I'd use to describe it.
Silly is right, and that's who I was. That's who I still am.
So the coworkers you had there were the worst ones you've ever had, though.
Some were great. Some of them I love. All the gay ones are my favorite people. That's the
Dude,
truth. All the
those
ones who
would-
ended
those
up
would
coming out
be
of the
my
class, I was like, you? No way, man.
Those would be my least favorite ones. I would be like, you better not be gay, dude.
See, those were the people I hated working with the most. It was the ones who were very holier than thou. Because I think all the gay counselors I knew, they were just trying to figure it out themselves. And I think that's why they were counselors, is because they're like, I'm trying to make this work for me. And if I can do that, then I can help someone who's in my situation. I know that's why I worked EFY. Because like, I had my own doubts of the church at the time. And I was like, well, if I can like figure this out myself, and if I can be an example to other kids who are in my situation, maybe I can help them. And I feel like that's what a lot of these gay counselors were like, especially because I was working there from 2012 to 2015. So the church was, I mean, it still is, but especially back then, incredibly homophobic, and was like doubling down on a lot of homophobic stances. So to be closeted gay Mormon at that time had to be like such
It was a
huge
good time.
internal. Hey, good time for the straights for sure.
I know. We had it going on.
Yeah.
No, we've given up too much ground since then.
Yeah, that's why I left. You know, I was like, they got weak, man. They got weak on their positions.
Dude, I know people who've left the church because they're like, the church has gotten weak on the gays.
Yeah.
Has it? What did?
No, it hasn't gotten
No,
weak on
dude,
the
but
gays,
there's,
really, though.
I mean, dude, there's a guy I know.
They're like, don't
he
make
was like-
fun of them anymore. That's pretty much all they
He was like,
say.
yeah.
They still can't go to heaven. They still can't get married or, like, participate in anything.
This
But don't
one
make
dude
fun
was
of
like,
them.
President Nelson said, get the COVID vaccine. I'm out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I knew a ton of people.
I do
who-
remember that one, too.
That's a fun dynamic.
Oh, dude.
Well,
I love
dude,
it.
tell me about the worst boss you ever had.
Ooh. Okay, I worked at a restaurant popular here in Utah called Cafe Zupas.
Dude, I love cafes.
It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
will say, I worked there for a few years in college, and like nothing shady went on in the restaurant. So like, it's a legit restaurant. I hated working there, but
Yeah, that's
the
when
restaurant is legit.
that's
it's pricey.
where
that's
Amanda
why.
and I would go eat to like feel like we're eating healthy, even though it's not healthy at
the
all.
salads are all right if you get
Yeah.
the dressing on the side.
The sandwiches.
Sandwiches
that's
are
where,
great,
dude.
yeah,
Their
but that's
brisket
pure-
sandwich.
yeah.
that's where they get you.
Yeah, where they get you. That it's not like they're being coy about it. Like, have our super healthy brisket sandwich.
Dude,
That's on
brisket's
you.
healthy.
That's on you for looking at brisket and thinking, well, it's at a salad restaurant, so maybe it's fine.
Dude, they tricked me.
Brisket's super healthy, man.
It's a
the
grilled
best.
it's a grilled cheese brisket sandwich, so it's not.
That does sound good.
It is really good.
Do you dip it in like the Wisconsin cauliflower soup?
No, I only do the Southwest
Oh, the chili?
chilies.
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good
that's
soup.
super healthy, man.
Dude, very healthy. Okay, so your
so
boss.
so I'm working there, and like my boss was training me to be a supervisor, but like behind my back, I found out he was like, I'm just not sure about this kid, but wasn't letting me know any of that, so like didn't give me anything to work on, and was just like, he was never there. Like when he was managing, like you could tell his brain was in like a million other places and just wasn't paying attention to the line. And like anytime you'd request a different schedule for the next week, would never get it. So just wasn't a good manager, but also the way that he trained me all the way up until he was like, yeah, they didn't want you to be supervisor, and it was him I found out the whole time who was yanking my chain. So I was like, fuck you, Mark. And then, but as much as I hated him, and he was super holier than thou Mormon too, and like just bringing
Is this
that
before or after EFY?
Before. So I was, I was still heavy. I was in the church, like in it. But like, I just hate holier than thou kind of Mormons, and like, he brought it into the workplace a lot. Anyways, as much as I hated him, he quit in the most baller way possible, which is he just walked out mid-shift as a manager. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
I mean, it's at a fast food
awesome.
restaurant.
Huh?
It's at a fast food restaurant,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, but
It's
that's
a-
fucking chaos,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean...
Like, it sucks when, like, someone doesn't show up for their shift, like, just a normal...
For the manager's just like, I'm
shift.
done.
So for the manager to be like, all right, see ya. It screwed everyone over, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Props. That's pretty cool. And when I quit Zupa's a few years later, I did it the exact same way.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
That was one of our questions for later on. I
Oh,
was going to
shit.
ask... Well, I was going to ask if you'd ever quit before without putting in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was super frustrated with the job at that point. I went away for the summer and I came back for school in the fall. I didn't really want to work at Zupa's, but I couldn't find another job, and so I just kind of reluctantly went back and was like, hey, can I work here again? And so I didn't really want to be there. And then they were training a ton of new people, and so because they're training them on the line, they were making me go out into the lobby and just be the trash person the whole time, like the busser.
Yeah.
And I, like, 1 or 2 shifts, that's fine, but it was like 2 weeks straight where I kept being busser every day. And I told the manager, I was like, can you not today? Like, can I just be anywhere else but busser? And he put me on busser. And so as soon as, like, it got busy, I was like, fuck this. And so I just wrote on a napkin, I'm done. And I put it up on the shift, like on the schedules. And then I went home, and then I went and played volleyball with my church, and I fucking killed it that day.
Sounds like
dude, it was a fun day.
That's a good time.
Dude,
Rage
walking
quitting.
out on your job, rage quitting, it's such a rush.
Dude, I've never done that, but I fantasized about doing that before. That's fucking amazing, man. So you just straight up, you just walked out. You didn't? Did you tell anyone, or did you just
Dude, I didn't even tell myself until it happened. Like, it was that spur of the moment. So no, I didn't see anyone. I just legitimately wrote it on a napkin, said I quit, put it on the schedule. No one was back there. And then I just walked home.
Dude,
fuck yeah, dude?
It was so fun.
the closest thing I ever had compared to that was I worked at Winco as a
Ooh.
cashier for only a week. It was the worst job I ever
Yeah.
had. And I had a buddy from Rexburg who was like, dude, I can hook you up with a job as a flagger. And Winco was paying me $9 an hour. And the
$9?
flagging job, I mean, this is pre, like, inflation. Like, you had some purchasing power. But,
Yeah.
like, the flagging job this guy was hooking me up with was $15 an hour.
There
which
you go.
Right now, in 2023, would be, like, $23 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it was good money.
Yeah.
And so I called my boss, and I was like, hey, I quit. And I was like, I got a new job. And he's like, well, can you come in today? And I was like, nah.
What part of quit do you not understand?
And I was like, I'm not even coming in today. Dude, I didn't even come in to pick up my check.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like 5 years later I got a letter in the mail from Winco like, hey, we're trying to pay you, but we have no way how to do it.
That's awesome.
And I just got that check like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, no way. There
Yeah.
you go. $9 an hour. How long ago was this?
But, dude, this was like 2014, 2015.
Sheesh.
No, yeah.
I guess that is, minimum wage federal is still $7.25.
And
right?
so, like, when I put it into the inflation calculator, though, so what they paid me was $206.
Uh-huh.
But, like, the money's been so devalued in the last, like, 6 7 years
Yeah.
that I got paid way less than that.
Yeah, you got like 16 cents out of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bummer.
And you get taxed 7 of it, so you got 9.
Well, oh, yeah. Okay, next question here. What's the worst, like, instance of time theft that you've ever committed?
Oh, my previous job, It was hybrid. You could work, at home or remote or in office. Towards the end, when we all knew we were going to get laid off, the company was not doing well.
Oh, this is your last one here in Utah.
Yeah. Dude, the company was not doing well. We all knew it. No work was coming in. We were openly working on personal projects, playing Super Smash Brothers in the office. And then there's many days where I was like, all right, I'm working from home today, and I just wouldn't even log on. Like, I would just go do whatever that day.
Dude, that sounds like a sweet job.
That was pretty sweet. I mean,
I guess economically that's not sustainable, but...
Yeah. Like, we knew what was coming. But yeah, like, you'd go to work and we'd just play Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers, like, in front of our bosses. And it was like, what, you got work for us? Like, give us something, man. I'll gladly work right now. So maybe that, I'm not sure if that counts as time theft or not because there was nothing to do. But I will say there were other days where I did have stuff to do and I was like, you know what, but it's not due. I can get away with just sleeping in a little bit here, maybe taking an extra long lunch. Working from home is great because nobody knows.
Dude, yeah. So my job is being shipped overseas,
Ooh.
Which sucks. But I've been working at home, and yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I take like hour and a half lunches every day.
Dude, I don't even feel bad because what's being asked of me is being done.
Right.
So like, I am putting in good work on time.
Yeah, Clayton's not doing his work at all.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different then.
I did like a little bit today, man.
Let's see. Zupas, I would always just go hide in the walk-in freezer. I feel like everyone in restaurant jobs do that. Where like when you're done, you just go stand in the walk-in freezer for a bit. Because like standing in there feels so good too. You're just like roasting from the line and standing in front of a grill.
Right.
And you just go stand in 32 degrees or however cold the freezer is and just like hide from everything. I did that a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do a restaurant job.
They're not fun.
No, dude,
they're not fun.
I worked as a dishwasher in high school, and I think that's when I realized I could never work in a restaurant.
Yeah. Dishwasher's not too bad because like you just get to play your own music and just kind of chill in the back. It's still not fun, but it's not the worst,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it again.
What? So would you say EFY? Was that that's how you say it, right?
EFY, E especially, yeah.
Yeah, that one. So would you say that was your favorite job of all time?
That one and the current job and my last job were my favorites for sure. Of like Chamber Media was a blast.
What did you do?
I was a copywriter there, but also an actor, and then like would just hang around
You're an
on set.
actor.
Yeah,
Dude, you were on camera.
I was on camera. I have
You got
an
acting
acting
credits.
Reel. I have an acting reel, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude.
You can look up the Tanner Rahlf acting reel.
Yeah, when we put this on YouTube, we'll impose some clips of your acting.
It's mostly I had very few talking lines. Really, if I was an actor, it was because they needed an extra to kind of like fill out the back of the scene. And I'd just be around, and I just liked being on camera. So
Yeah, and you'd really fill it up.
yeah, I do fill it out, man. It's I am worth 2 or 3 extras. It's nice.
No, it's really fun because remember we did that weight loss
Dude,
contest?
I was thinking about that when we walked in. Remember how we went to an all-you-can-eat buffet before the weigh-in?
Dude.
And then we ate too much, and I had diarrhea right before the weigh-in, so I was like, all that work for nothing.
Dude, what was the worst is weighing in backstage. It said like 257, 258, which is what I expected.
Yeah.
On stage,
Was it
I was
heavier?
261. It was the heaviest I ever weighed in my whole life.
Same. I went over 300.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I was like...
Dude, and we just had our worst.
Okay. And the worst, I was expecting us to be weighed and the crowd to be like, oh, like that. No, the worst is the crowd didn't respond. So like Amanda reached 301 pounds and the crowd's like, yeah, that
adds up.
that checks. That's exactly what I expected to see here.
Dude, I'm down to 230 now.
Hey,
Yeah.
are you really?
Yeah.
I have not weighed myself in a while. I went to.
You're in a new relationship. People, dude, that's when you pack it on.
I'm not just in a relationship. She's a baker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're screwed.
Dude, it's pretty awesome. She works for this high-end bakery in Oklahoma City, and she'll just bring stuff home all the time. Or like I'll go see her at work, and she'll bring out like these little like croissants and stuff. It's the best French
chocolate
toast I've ever
croissants.
had. Yeah, they make some chocolate croissants. I had one that was like strawberries and cream. It was so
Dude, that's
fucking
game
good, man.
over.
Yeah. I did go get a health checkup though, and I'm not even in pre-diabetes, which is funny because I know really skinny people who are, and I'm like, how did this happen?
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, dude, I was convinced. Did you hear? Oh, this was vibrating.
Oh, I was checking to make sure I was still in frame, leaning back.
Okay, dude, in February, I thought I was going to die. Like, I started getting, like, intense, like, chest pains.
Oh, yeah, those happen.
Because Amanda and I went... It's just normal. You just live with it.
Yeah. Every now and then I'm like, is this it?
Suck it up, you pussy. No, dude, so I was, like, door dashing, right? And I was, like, walking up apartment steps, and then I was like...
Shoot.
And one time I fell. Like, it hurt so bad, like, I just collapsed. And I was like, dude, I'm going to die, but I don't have health insurance. So I went to a free clinic. And then I found out free clinic is code for Mexican clinic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was the only white dude in there.
Yeah. We're also the undocumented citizens going to go.
So they bring me back into the doctor's office, right? The doctor walks in. He looks at me and says, do you have a patient with you?
He thought you were a translator?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I am the patient.
Did you
and
say
then
it
he
in
was like,
Spanish,
oh, I'm so sorry. No, he thought I was a volunteer.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You look like a volunteer. That's
Yeah.
what he said. Which was way more racist
Yeah.
than me calling it a Mexican clinic.
Yeah, that's true. So what was the situation? Was it just stress? Was it?
Oh no! So we started. Amanda and I went to the gym in February, and it was like the first time we had like worked out seriously in a while. And if you become fat as shit and you work out, I did upper body like chest workouts, and apparently I inflamed all the cartilage between my ribs.
Yeah, dude.
Oh. That's good to know because I keep thinking I'm going to go start working out again.
Yeah, dude, you gotta take it easy. You can't just jump into it.
That's not the thing to hear though, because I'm going to go in the gym and be like, but I'm supposed to take it easy. So I guess I'll just come and sniff the sweat in here and leave.
Dude.
I think that you are going to be at a better starting place than Drew, though. I don't know if you remember this at all, man, but Drew used to fucking be out of breath getting on stage, man.
Dude, I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that right now.
I would too, but like
I think
always thought it was just anxiety for me.
Amanda's thinking it's a nerve, like psychological thing.
I think it's for me too. Like you get that rush of adrenaline, even though it's like, how fucking lame is this? Like it's an open mic. I shouldn't get this excited for an open mic, but I'm just happy. And so like you get that sudden spike of adrenaline when you hear your name, and then it drops because it's not really that intense of a situation, and so you're like, why am I breathing?
Yeah, dude, me not being able to breathe like has ruined a few sets at Wise Guys.
Yeah.
Because yeah, dude, I'm like totally like Clayton even pointed it out. It's like the crowd could tell like I wasn't breathing.
Oh jeez. That's funny. No, not being able to breathe just ruins sex for me. You know, that's the joke I do right now is like people always ask about soaking in Utah, and I was like, I don't think it's real, but I do soak. I just call it catching my breath.
Well, I guess the next question here is if you could, we did this one last time. If you could wipe one country off the map with a nuke, which one would it be?
I should have come prepared too. Are we restarting over? Are there countries?
We're starting over.
Are there countries that can't be wiped off because other people have said so?
We're restarting the board right now. Next episode, I'll have a map. We're going to cross them off.
I mean, can you imagine the global impact if you chose China? Because like China or India, like I want to choose one of those two because they're the top two contributors to climate change and like all the pollution in the world and stuff, but they produce so much too.
You look like a guy who would want to kill all the Indians and Chinese.
I know I do. Hey, last time I said Italy, and then you made fun of me for it for the next 10 podcasts.
Dude, Italy is dope. I want
to... let's see. Oh, we also looked up who had the most pedophiles. Was it South Africa?
It was India.
India? Well, then we got to do India.
Fuck
we
yeah,
we got to get rid of them
India,
Betties.
goodbye Quran.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's right.
Dude, it was so fun when I had Karan on. I asked him.
We can keep Karan here. Oh, he's in Pakistan
Dude,
without hesitation, right?
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
It was so quick.
I hate to admit, I've listened to a lot of your episodes. Like, I miss you guys.
Thank you. I
miss you
appreciate
guys,
it.
Yeah.
I need
It's good to listen and just pretend like I'm still there in the Utah scene.
All right, next question here. Have you ever sexually assaulted a coworker?
Oh, shit. No. First of all, you're not going to get anyone to confess to that on the show. So even if it was true, no one's going to be like, fuck yeah, man.
Dan, what's wrong with you, Drew?
It's a question that Clayton pitched, but you know what I said? Mm-hmm. I said, you know what? Eventually, we might be 100 episodes in.
Yeah.
Someone is going to say something.
Be like, yeah, I went to prison for it and everything. No, I've never sexually assaulted any coworkers.
Have you ever wanted to sexually assault a coworker?
Shit.
Have you?
No, I've only wanted to consensually do things with them.
That's good.
There wasn't just someone you hated?
Not in that way, no.
Do you ever get like murderous thoughts at work?
Hell yeah. Who doesn't, man? Not lately. But yeah,
of course, not at your current job.
No.
But other jobs, yes.
Yeah, like call center, man. It wasn't just me I wanted to kill. You know, I wanted to murder everyone and everything. Yeah, absolutely. That's what mind-numbing jobs do.
Yeah. Have you ever stolen food from the break room?
No, but I have, which I think is even worse, eaten food in the break room that was way too old to still be eaten. You know, like, you worked at call center. Did they do the pizza thing on Fridays for you guys too? I feel like every call center...
I did. I worked at one call center that did Pizza Hut every Friday.
Yeah, I feel like there's call centers that will do Pizza Fridays to like make their employees less sad, and then it's like Thursday the next week, and there's still pizza there, and I'm like, you know how sad I am? I'm gonna eat this pizza. So I've eaten week-old pizza that's just like out there, which I will say I think is worse than stealing food.
I will say this: you have the face of a guy who would eat week-old pizza.
Well played. Well played.
Dude, there was I want to say one story. So when I worked at Comcast, we had a break room, but there was like a self-checkout thing where they sold stuff in the break room, like snacks, like Hot Pockets, chips, and whatever.
Yeah.
And they had cameras in there, and there was this one chick who got fired from stealing without, she was grabbing stuff without paying. Dang. And they had like a no tolerance policy if you were caught. Dude, the worst part is that she definitely weighed like 300, 400 pounds.
Of course she did, man.
And so that was like the ongoing joke in the office. You don't want to be the fat person getting fired stealing food from the break room.
Remember, it's kind of like Lost. Remember the show Lost?
Yeah, I never saw it.
You seem sad that I brought this up, so let's not even worry about it for the podcast. There was a fat character in Lost, and people were speculating. They're like, why is he never losing weight stuck in an island? So they eventually wrote into the script that like he found a hoard of food and was just hoarding it to himself.
That is very funny.
It's hilarious, and he was a very fun character too, Hugo.
Yeah. That show was great. I was not a fan of the ending though, man.
No, if you want a story with like that wraps up every event that's going on, Lost is going to piss you off.
Right.
If you watch Lost just for character development, I think the ending is fine. But there was so much closure that Lost did not give.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans got very pissed about it. I'm fine with it, but again, I think you just got to watch it for a character standpoint.
Right.
So.
Have you ever cussed out your boss before?
No.
No? Have you ever...
No. I wanted to, for sure, but no.
Did you ever, like, write a speech in your head? Like...
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Everyone does.
At Cafe Zupas.
Yeah, Cafe Zupas, at EFY, every job. Even my current job where I felt like stressed out.
Dude, the
not
EFY one would have been the funniest one because there'd be no swearing. Yeah. You'd just be like, you mother trutter.
You freakers.
Go to dang heck.
You're bumming me out. And that's so not cool.
You're such a jerk face.
Yeah, no, everyone writes speeches. Like I said, even for my current job, like there's just days where you're just stressed out and you're not feeling validated or warranted. And I think those are the days where like you're writing it out and you're like, hey, quit fucking sleeping on me, man. But no, I haven't written them, just mentally.
Okay. So have you ever called a boss retarded?
No. Not to his face and not recently. I try not to use that word anymore. I don't know where I stand.
That does make you a good person.
I know, yeah. But look, let's not all act like this switch didn't just suddenly happen in 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
Before 2012, we were using that word very casually.
Yeah, all three of us are in our 30s, man. We
yeah, dude, I'm 30 now. It's a bummer.
For context to the 300 listeners. So yeah. So bosses before then, yeah, absolutely. I would have said that like it.
I never stopped.
I know you didn't. You said that now.
Dude, you know what's really funny? So like that switch did happen, but it was like while I was on my mission.
Yeah.
And so I came home. I left in 2012. I come back in 2014. And I meet up with a friend. I had a layover in LA when I was flying home to see my family. And my roommate was from LA. So he met me at the airport for my 8-hour layover. And we got in and out.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, so what's up with the world? Like, what's going on in America? Because I was in Guatemala for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And then the first thing he said is, well, you can't say fag anymore.
Oh, that was a fun one, too.
I was like, they took that away?
It was such a great word. And like even South Park did that whole episode.
With the bikers?
Yeah. And I think there's a moment where we're all like, yeah, it's too fun of a word.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then, it's another one that like I just can't get myself to say anymore because it hurts the wrong people still.
No, dude. Yeah, me and Clayton, we're the last of the Mohicans, dude.
We're from we're from the Oklahoma, the West Coast.
Yeah,
so
dude, we're holding the line, dude. We're the last of the Mohicans.
I'll say the word from when I have a show in Oklahoma next week that's like an hour and a half south of Oklahoma City. So I'll definitely use the word there. I'm sure they'll be very appreciative.
Yeah.
I'll be very welcome there as long as I put on just like jeans and a t-shirt and take off the earrings. They'll be like, oh, he's one of us, man.
Yeah. Dude, I will say this. Clayton was actually homophobic in high school.
Yeah, well, I was covering up for...
You were the stereotype of like you were homophobic because you were gay.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude, like I never ever would have called a gay kid fag.
Yeah,
you call your straight friends fag.
Yeah,
when they do faggy things.
Yeah, which is a direct quote from The Office about the other word. But yeah,
I don't know. I'm still a fan. Well, speaking of like words, when's the last time you said the N word?
I never have.
You look like a 3 months ago kind of guy.
I never have.
You've never uttered it.
Okay. Definitely while like singing Kendrick Lamar in the car to myself on accident.
On accident?
It's
dude, so you're like rapping and then you like catch yourself. You're like, whoa.
So I try to say wizard because of a Donald Glover stand-up bit where his mom wouldn't let him say the N-word, so he replaced it with wizards. So, like, if I'm singing along to Kendrick Lamar, I will try to be like, a young nappy-haired wizard with the world behind him.
You know what's funny? There's some grand wizards who love saying that.
I know, yeah, that's also true. That's very true. So, yeah, I would say, like, in the car, singing along it, and then I'm like, I feel bad after saying that. I'm like, shit.
You've never been in the room alone by yourself and just...
No.
And then said it?
No. No, because I'm afraid. I'm paranoid.
Dude, what are you, like, some...
I'm paranoid that some black man is just, like, hiding in my house, and he's like, he's going to say it any time now. Any second. We got him. They got, like, the fucking headphones, and they're in a van with the microphones, like, hold on. We got him wired. He's going to say it.
All right, I think you need to overcome your fear. Right here on the podcast. Just go ahead, man. Your first time.
What my first thought was to try to say a word that is similar, but has "deli" at the end of the word. To just play
Mad
a little-
Dog would say that on stage a lot.
Oh yeah. So like, I was thinking about saying that just now
I had
as a
never-
joke, but then I could see myself. I stumble over my words a lot, and this would be the worst time to do that. Like, no, I meant to.
Yeah, dude, I saw a bit. I have to look it up on YouTube, but there was a comic who like tricked the whole audience into saying the N-word.
With the salt and vinegar chips.
Maybe,
Yeah, that's a classic one.
dude, that's very funny.
Bo Burnham did it. A few
think
other
maybe
comics
it was
have done
Bo
it.
Burnham.
Bo Burnham does it in Make Happy, where he's like, I love peanut butter and jelly. I love this and that. Call and response. He goes, my chips, salt and vin. It's the whole, and then he turns on the lights like, who said it? Who said it? That's a pretty funny joke. Make Happy, great special.
That was very funny.
I should not sit I realize
No.
I'm sitting like this with my back to the camera. Not a good
No,
look.
white dudes accidentally saying the N-word is hilarious.
It is
that
really
might be
funny.
one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Or like, who was that? Was she on Fox? Who she was like, it's just a word, and then she said it like 50 times in a row on TV, and then had to apologize the next day.
No.
I want to see that clip though. That sounds hilarious.
So it was back in like 07, 06.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't remember what her name
Dude.
was. Super Southern.
You remember,
Paula Dean?
dude? I remember
Paula
watching.
Dean,
It wasn't Paula
Oh,
Dean.
okay.
She's a Food Network person, but she said it a lot too.
Dude, I remember watching ESPN, and they were talking about Tim Tebow, and they're like, he's a great leader, he's the best quarterback, and someone's like, he's not that good, and then Lou Holtz was like, he's not that good, and then they're like, no, Tim Tebow's amazing, everyone plays better around him, he's a great leader, and Lou Holtz immediately said, and Hitler was a great leader. But I mean, you get what he was saying. He was trying to say that like that doesn't mean Tim Tebow was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But dude, it was so funny because Lou Holtz at the time was like what, pushing 80, and so
Is he still alive?
yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
He had to like come back on the next day and like apologize for that.
But he's like, but the facts are facts, like Hitler was nothing without his other five, without Goebbels, who arguably was the real brain behind all the Nazi stuff. Goebbels, Himmler, I think was another one. I get what Lou Holtz was saying.
Yeah.
Tebow was great because he had some great receivers around him. He had, did he have Percy
dude.
Harvin on his
He had
team?
Percy Harvin.
He had, who murdered?
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. They had a really good running back behind him too.
Yeah, dude.
He had a
Dude, they
stacked
had like
team.
that team had like 50 felonies on it.
Yeah, because Meyer didn't give a shit when it came to recruiting. They had did Urban Meyer recruit Cam Newton?
Yeah, Cam Newton was on that team.
Yeah, and then he stole a laptop and got kicked off.
Kicked out of school for stealing laptops.
Yeah, but Urban recruited him as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Character.
What a great guy. So I see what Lou Holtz is trying to say there.
Yeah, dude. He's
Would
the
I
man.
stand behind that opinion? No, I would never say that on live TV, but I get what he's trying to say.
I might.
Do you prefer working with men or women?
I haven't really found a preference.
Gun to your head.
I think because
If you pick whatever one you don't pick. So if you say you prefer working with dudes, they kill all the women in your office.
oh shit,
Which one are you picking?
I got to pick woman because that's going to be less of a catastrophe at work. We've got a lot more women working than men. No, I think because my degree was fashion design at BYU Idaho, I was one of the only guys in almost all my classes. And so I became very used to just working with women around me and stuff. Plus, in the creative field, it's being dominated by women a lot right now, especially with the younger generations coming in.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm just kind of used to seeing more women in that area.
Dude, I still don't get women. Like, I'm married.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, calm down. You're acting hysterical.
I've never had this issue.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, dude. Women always
Yeah.
shut up,
they
bitch.
be tripping, man.
Yeah,
This woman
dude.
be tripping.
No, I'm like, dude, calm down or we'll get you lobotomized.
Like the good old days, man.
Dude, that'd be a good time.
If only. Can you imagine if that was still going on today?
Your wife comes home with just scrambled eggs in her brain. That's
instead of the pan where it's supposed to be, bitch. God damn it.
All right. So we got a new segment here. While we have Clayton on as our co-host, we have a segment called Clayton Surprise.
Oh, okay.
The fun part of this segment is he brings in questions that I don't know anything about.
Okay.
I don't know what he wrote. It's going to be as big of a surprise to me as it is to you.
All right. So I have 2 questions. First one is, if like a 4th dimensional demon creature was holding a gun to your head.
Okay.
And you had to pick between making sweet, gentle love to Drew or me, who would it be?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Why? Why's that?
Well, like, I've heard your jokes about having beer cans by the bedside. It just, like, seems like a dirtier, rougher, fun time. Whereas Drew is afraid to, like, be emotionally available. I feel like you are okay with being like, let's get silly, let's get fun.
That's true, dude. You and me, man. That would be a good one.
It'd be a fun fuck.
Yeah, man.
It'd be great.
We just like get drunk and suck each other off and then play Madden. It'd be
Dude,
fantastic.
fuck yeah, man. Just play some video games afterwards. Hell yeah.
All right. Well, fuck you, man. Tanner doesn't want to bang you.
Nuts.
Okay. Is there any more questions after my final one?
I've got one for you guys.
Okay. Well, first, the final question, and this is very important. What's your least favorite thing about the Jews?
Oh, shoot. I gotta be careful with how I answer this one.
I mean, you can love the Jews, but it doesn't mean there isn't a least favorite thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing necessarily.
Right. I'm not
like,
sure if
I
it's
love my
favorite,
mom, but I have a least favorite thing about my mom.
I am jealous of the Jewish culture. That, like, Jews...
Like sucking at sports.
Not back in the day,
Bad
man.
knees.
That's true.
Yeah, back in the day, like, they used to say that Jews had the advantage in sports, but this was back when we didn't let black people play.
That's true.
Yeah, dude. It's all Jews in the NBA.
But I mean, like...
with magical layups,
fucking,
no dunks.
There's some... I mean, even Adam Sandler plays pretty good basketball.
That's true.
I was trying to think of, like, an actual Jewish person in sports, and I was like, I actually don't know any, but not helping my case. No, the idea that, like, especially, like, the New York Jewish culture has, like, so, like the Catskills. Like, all you have to do if you're Jewish, like, Catskills, and then all of a sudden they'll tell you a million stories about, like, things they had there, you know, and experience there, and, like, yeah, it just seems like there's a much tighter culture and respect within the Jewish community, you know, and, like, yeah, it's something that I feel like as Mormons we kind of have, but not near to the extent.
I will say
Jewish
outside of Utah, Mormon communities are pretty Jewy.
Dude, okay. Yes. In fact, I just moved to a new unit in Oklahoma City. It's just downstairs. So I moved from the upstairs to the downstairs. Centralized AC, baby. And yeah, I've only been to church once in Oklahoma City, but I have gone and helped when they've asked for me to help other people move because I knew my time was coming. And so, yeah, sure enough, I messaged the bishop and I was like, hey, I'm moving downstairs. My knee is in pretty bad shape. I just need some help moving down a couch and 2 mattresses. And sure enough, 6 people showed
20
up.
people showed up.
Not 20, but 6 did show up. And they are super nice. They're, you know, like, we know we don't see at church, but, like, if you ever want to play Settlers of Catan, you know, we like playing Settlers, and, like, they're inviting me, like, pickleball and Settlers and all of that. So, like, you are right that outside of Utah, having that religion is a much tighter
dude,
bond.
I love... Yeah, dude, Mormon communities outside of Utah
It's
are
great.
dope.
It's why I can't fully leave the church. Like, I don't believe any of it. But the community is great. And it's why I can't fully leave.
So what's your least favorite thing about the Jews?
I told you, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the tight culture that they have. That
Well,
seems like
you being jealous can't be your least
You're
favorite
right.
thing.
It's a safe answer. It's a safe answer. Here's my least favorite: a hairy chest with the Jewish star.
A Star of David.
It's just gross. I'm like, ugh. That is, seeing that, I'm like, come on, that's too Italian. Jews and Italians have that in common.
That's true. They are basically the same thing.
It's a hairy chest with a gold chain in front of it.
I like that answer. That's an acceptable answer.
Okay.
I think you'll keep your job even.
I hope so.
So you have some questions for us.
I have a question for you guys. I think this is one that maybe you should ask
never
in
had
future Let's Get Fired episodes.
Turning the table.
Yeah. It was one that I thought about at a comedy show the other day, and I'm forfeiting it as a joke to do on stage to turn over to you guys to ask people on podcasts, because I think it's fun to ask each other. Can people with Alzheimer's consent to sex?
Ooh.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'd say it's like drunk people. If the other person also has Alzheimer's, then yes, game on.
I mean, if they have Alzheimer's, does it really matter?
I think
I don't know.
I think
That's
Clayton,
a great one, though.
I think
Holy shit.
Clayton's like it's the same way Clayton feels about teenagers. He's like, if it's a man, but if it's a lady,
hell yeah. Because, like, I know if I go into a retirement home single, I'm going to be horny as fuck. And my grandma died with dementia, so, like, my chances, whoop.
Right.
Also, I saw a study that said acid reflux medicine leads to Alzheimer's and dementia, and I take that every day.
Oh,
so,
dude, you're screwed.
I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to want to boink.
True.
Can I?
I mean, if you're the one with Alzheimer's, man, I think you can basically do whatever you want. Not like whatever you want, but like, you're a 90-year-old man walking around grabbing.
Yeah, but let's take gender out of it. Person A has Alzheimer's, person B doesn't. They both, person A consensually says yes in the moment to sex, but then later person A doesn't even remember that they had it. And this is the situation person B knew they could be in.
Okay.
Because person A has shown signs of, like, knew before.
Are they an elderly person, or are they like a young person?
People younger, like, I'm assuming this is elderly. Yeah.
Okay. Is the other person also elderly?
Yes. Two old people in a retirement home having sex. It happens a lot.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna die soon. Fuck it. What do you think, man?
Oh, I'm gonna stand by what I said. If they both have Alzheimer's, then it's all good.
Yeah. All right.
That was a great fucking question, too.
That's a good one. I like that.
It's a fun one that you should
I'm
start
gonna
asking.
spring that. All right, so now here's how we end the podcast. Based off of all your answers, Clayton and I are going to guess if you've been fired before.
Okay.
What do you
Despite
think?
the fact that you've interviewed me before.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I am going to say, unless you got fired from the lifeguard job, then you have not been fired before.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say he has.
Okay.
I think he does peek into his world a little bit when he was saying that he like napped on his last job. Sometimes he'd just be like, today I'll hit my deadline. I don't have to work today.
Well,
I'm gonna say he has been fired.
Are you ready for the reveal?
Yes.
I did also explicitly say before the layoffs, I was laid
Well,
off.
no, layoff doesn't count as getting
Okay.
fired.
So I was laid off from that job. I had a pizza job where I accidentally did a no-call, no-show. So I don't know if that counts as getting fired or not either, if I technically quit. I didn't do the no-call, no-show with intention to quit. So like I just didn't check the schedule. Right.
They just let you go.
So I came in the next day to look at my schedule, and my boss was like, "You didn't show up for your shift and never called." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "You're not working here anymore." And I was like, "I'm not." So if that counts,
that does count. That's
damn.
That's being fired.
Yeah.
All right. I'm 1-0.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. Now the last part.
Oh shoot.
Performance review.
Oh.
We grade how employable you are on a scale of 1 to 10. Despite the, I'm digging here, but I feel like there's a lot of time theft. I'm gonna say he's a 7. He's employable. What do you think?
I'm gonna also say a 7, just because of that story where you drank all of the soda and syrup ever. That's pretty goddamn ridiculous, dude.
And then sat out in the sun for an hour and went, "Why does my head hurt? Why do I get so many migraines? What's water? The stuff you swim in?"
Well, there you have it. You're employable.
All right.
Fuck
You
yeah.
passed.
No, man.
You have been fired once, but you're still worthy of work.
All right.
All right.
This was a lot of fun,
let's
guys.
wrap it up. That was fun.
This was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh. The one hard thing about earrings is when you wear headphones.
Oh, yeah.
You've got these stun ones, and they just press in.
Yeah.
An hour and 3 minutes. That was perfect.
It's pretty good.
You're fired.
And